If Biden's going to play the lying card as a pro-Biden thing against Trump, he's got to tell the truth and get his numbers right. He can't then have a fact check from CNN, which was painful to watch last night. It went on and on and on. Almost every statistic he came out with was completely wrong.
Hey y'all, so in this video, Piers Morgan is about to smoke this guy named Harry Sisson. And if you've never heard of Harry Sisson, he's this 21-year-old kid who, for the last few years, ever since Biden has been elected, he goes on social media. He's got a big TikTok. He has a decent-sized audience on X. And a lot of people believe that he is being paid by the Biden administration to basically go out there and just shill for Biden. No matter what Biden does, he's going to talk him up. He's going to make him look positive. In my opinion, he reminds me a lot of those two reporters that were asking Tucker Carlson questions this last week in his convention there in Australia. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link in the description because it's hilarious. It's definitely worth a watch. Without taking up any more time, let's just go ahead and check out this interview.
I have some breaking news for everyone. The Biden campaign spokesperson, Seth Schuster, says that Biden will not be exiting the race. There's no basis for that. There's nothing that voters have indicated that they agree with that. Senior White House correspondent at CNN, Kayla Tausch, said on X, not only does POTUS not plan to drop out, Biden remains committed, incredibly, to a second debate in September, an advisor tells me. I cannot see that happening. But we actually have now somebody joining us who is pro-Biden and thinks that he won last night. It's the TikToker, Harry Sisson. Harry, you think Biden won last night?
One person.
Yeah, no, I did, definitely. On the substance of the conversation, Biden won. His policy was pragmatic, it was logical, and Donald Trump just lied the entire time. Is incapable of telling the truth, is incapable of actually laying out policy. He didn't talk about how he's going to make the American people's lives better. He just, said that, January 6th didn't happen. He talked about the election. He said that overturning Roe was a great thing and forcing 10-year-old girls to give birth is a fantastic thing. That was Donald Trump's debate. So on the substance of the conversation, Joe Biden absolutely prevailed.
Right, but the problem you've got is I saw the CNN fact checkers on Joe Biden's public statements last night, and it was just untruth after untruth after untruth.
Oh, I'm not sitting here I'm not sitting here telling you that Joe Biden tells the truth every single time he speaks, or that he gets every single number right and every single statistic right.
He gets most of them wrong.
That's not true. To compare Joe Biden's lies to Donald Trump's lies is laughable. Trump told over 30,000 lies during his presidency, averaging around 20 a day, and he showed that last night when he lied about every single thing he talked about. Lying doesn't win debates.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you're going to use lying or misleading the public with statements against a candidate, you've got to make sure your own candidate speaks with unforked tongue. I mean, Biden, barely a week goes by without him saying something which is immediately proven to be untrue. I mean, only like 2 weeks ago, he was claiming that his uncle was shot down and eaten by cannibals. None of that ever happened. He wasn't shot down and he wasn't eaten by cannibals. I mean, I just think that this idea that Trump's the only one whose statements can't be trusted is just not true. Last night, again and again, listen, I'm not denying that Trump made a series of untrue statements. He does that. He barrels through and hopes that the big messages about the border and so on kick home, and they probably do, actually, with many Americans. And
I got to cut in there briefly because I've heard a lot of people on both sides say that Trump lied a lot during the debate, but yet I haven't seen them provide any of the proof. What exactly did Trump lie about during the debate? There's video montages of all the Biden gaffes, all the Biden lies, or not even all of them, but I'm yet to see one video put together by anybody of Trump's series of lies from the debate. If anybody has that link or anybody knows that information, let me know in the comments, because to me, as a person who consumes news 24/7, I haven't seen one. I'm constantly scrolling X. I'm constantly looking at all the news articles, and I'm telling you, I have not seen one compilation video of Trump lying or any of this stuff that people, like I said, on both sides are claiming. I don't know why Piers Morgan is giving this little bit of an inch to Harry Sisson here when there's really no facts to back it up.
If Biden's going to play the lying card as a pro-Biden thing against Trump, he's got to tell the truth and get his numbers right. He can't then have a fact check from CNN, which was painful to watch last night. It went on and on and on. Almost every statistic he came out with was completely wrong. I don't know how anybody honestly can watch that debate and honestly conclude that Biden won. You'd have to be so deeply embedded in the Democrat partisan tank that you can't crawl out long enough to see the wood for the trees.
So first thing, I want to respond to your lie comment. I think that, yeah, we want both candidates to be honest, but we have to weigh the lies here. Like if Joe Biden gets a statistic incorrect, that is vastly different than Donald Trump still pushing lies about January 6th and about the election. So that's first and foremost. But second of all, as I said, the substance of the conversation is what matters. Trump can scream the loudest, he can lie the most. That doesn't mean you win a debate. When Joe Biden's up there saying, like, you know what, my policy is pragmatic. I want to give women their reproductive rights. I want to continue to lower healthcare costs. I want to expand healthcare for veterans more and more. That's pragmatic policy. That's logical.
But Harry, the problem, okay, but Harry, here's the problem.
Substance.
Harry, here's the problem. He couldn't articulate his views in a way that anyone could really understand. And secondly, and more crucially, in Trump, he has an opponent who tells a lot of untruths. And what you want the president of the United States to do is to be quick-witted enough and sharp enough and intelligent enough to, every time he does that, leap on it and tell the American people why what he said was untrue. Biden was simply incapable of doing any of that. And that's what a lot of Democrats have said overnight is the most problematic thing. It's not that he's old or anything. It's that he was incapable of either articulating policy in a way that resonated or holding Trump to account. And if you can't do that with a candidate like Trump, there's no hope.
Yeah, except Piers, that was the method that Biden was.
Hang on a second, I'll come to you in one second. Let Harry respond to that.
Sorry.
Well, all right. What I was going to say is, if that's the method that Biden was going to go with, then all of his answers would just be fact-checking Trump. Every 2 minutes he has to be like, okay, Trump lied about this, and that's not any way to win a voter over. Biden, I would think it's more of the moderator's job to fact-check as opposed to Biden dedicating his entire debate to fact-checking. Biden should be laying out the policy, which he did. He seemed pretty coherent.
That last statement right there should let you know everything you need to know about who Harry Sisson is. He just said that Joe Biden seemed pretty coherent during that debate. Are you kidding me? Was he watching? That's just complete nonsense, and it's proof in my mind that he is either brainwashed or on some kind of payroll. What do you guys think?
Do you think, okay, that excruciating moment when Joe Biden basically froze and mumbled his words, it said complete gibberish, and then Donald Trump just said, I don't think even he knows what he just said. Let's just watch this clip, and I'm going to ask you to explain to me what he said.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look,
I mean, Harry, what was Biden saying there?
It's a very nice, selectively edited clip. I like it. Yeah, I don't think that every person ever is going to speak perfectly. So highlighting Biden not speaking perfectly.
No, but I watched the whole thing, Harry. I watched the whole thing.
Broader conversation.
I watched the whole 90 minutes. I don't come at this as on the left or right. I'm not a member of either party. I don't promote either party over the other. I simply come at it as a journalist. I didn't understand 90% of what Biden was saying. I did understand Trump, and I understood that he was misleading me a lot of the time, but also understood on the big picture messaging, which he kept ramming down the viewers' throats about the chaos at the border, the state of the economy, particularly on Black Americans and Latino Americans who are gravitating to Trump, and so on and so on. On those big picture messages, he was hitting home hard. I don't know what Biden's messages were. I don't know what he was talking about.
Piers, did you not understand President Biden when he talked about how the PACT Act now has 1 million people signing up for it?
No, not really. No,
did you not understand him?
I didn't know.
Did you not understand him when he talked about the largest investment in fighting climate change in world history?
No, because he spoke in a weird. Look, I'd understood it if you had basically translated him in real time. I'd have understood it. If Gavin Newsom had done the translation for us and articulated what Biden was trying to say, I'd have understood it. But Biden spoke for 90 minutes in a croaky, monotone, drone-like manner that honestly, for most average viewers watching, was utterly incomprehensible. And the problem he's got is that Trump sounded and looked exactly like he did in 2020 and 2016, like he's always done.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, he did.
He did not. He did not sound exactly like he did in 2020.
I promise
or
you, go back and
2016.
watch Trump
He
in
was rambling
2016.
incoherently.
Go back and watch Trump in 2016.
Incorrect.
Compared to last night, it's the same guy. You may not like him, but he's an embellisher, and he'll tell lies, but he'll ram home the messages. And one of his trump cards, literally, is that he can hit home messaging in a way that resonates with people at home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Harry,
it's
I don't
certainly
know
not
what
the
you're
same
talking
guy when the Trump in 2024. The Trump in 2024 is talking about boats sinking and like sharks and batteries and all that stuff, and he's telling these insane lies about the election. I mean, in 2020 he was claiming that China was bringing in bamboo ballots. I mean, this is like your crazy uncle at Thanksgiving who's screaming in the corner. This is not a presidential candidate. This is a dude who just rambles incoherently on the debate stage, as he did last night.
And do you believe, Harry, finally, do you believe in your heart that Joe Biden is the right person to lead the Democrats into the election in November? And do you believe he can win?
He can win. He's going to win. And as Vice President Harris said, we don't let a 90-minute performance negate 3.5 years of progress. Biden's the only man who has beaten Donald Trump, and he's going to do it again. And I'm looking forward to convicted felon Donald Trump facing justice.
Why are you the only person I've heard in the last 24 hours who's not crying because the performance was so horrendous on the Democrat side?
I don't know. You have to talk to the people that you're surrounded by.
I'm talking about Thomas
somebody, in my
Friedman
view.
and Frank Bruni and all the
That's great.
all the Democrats supporting
That's great.
writers for the New York Times and so on. Literally all of them, Van Jones, Asina, they're all crying because it was so bad it brought tears to their eyes. You appear to have watched a completely different debate. You're happy. You thought it was great. He's going to win a triumphant victory. No, he's not, Harry. Wake up.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Man, that guy is so cringe. I can't believe Piers Morgan actually had him on. I'm glad he did, so that he could publicly display his idiocracy. He has to be paid, right? The idiocy of claiming that Trump is rambling and incoherent while he's having a conversation with Joe Biden, who is literally rambling and incoherent. But in my mind, it's important to know and see what the mouthpieces of the Democratic Party, the Joe Biden shills, are actually claiming and saying out there. It's pretty plain and simple to me that they're the ones that are lying. They're the ones that are playing sports fan, and they really just root for Joe Biden and the D, right? They want to vote for D down ticket, which is basically sending us into World War III, which is hilarious to me because Harry Sisson is 21, and 4 more years of Joe Biden is basically voting for himself to be sent to war because we're heading into World War III if we continue down Joe Biden's path, which is just another example of how ignorant that kid is. Trump is the one that believes in de-escalation, peace through prosperity, and he's also the one that believes in peace through strength. You have a military that is capable, smart, and stronger than everybody else. The fear from the other countries keeps them in line, and I like that. And if you agree, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, share this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.